So there is a huge double money event going on right now in GTA Online. Starting today, import-export missions, which is a special vehicle missions, are double money. This is rare. They never put any bonuses on this business, and especially double money. They haven't done this in years. Double money on import-export. So number one way to make money in like the last few months in GTA Online. And I got a full breakdown and guide of the whole business. So you're going to be able to use this even when it's not double money. So come back to this video whenever you want to just do this business. But this week, this is a must-have guide for import-export. So let's just start off with buying the business. I have chapters in this video, so you guys can skip to whatever part you want. But for the basics, let's just buy the businesses. So first, you have to get a CEO office. So if you are a completely new player, you can get CEO offices for free now with the premium edition, which is really the only way you could buy GTA Online now. So if you bought GTA Online recently, you have the Maze Bank West business for free. But if you don't, it will cost you only $1 million to buy the cheapest CEO office, which is Maze Bank West. Now on to buying the actual vehicle warehouse, which you need to start the import-export business. The cheapest one you could possibly get is the La Mesa location, which is also one of the better locations, even though it is cheaper. You can buy this one for a standard price of $1,500,000, or this week you do get a little discount on top of that. But at normal prices, the maximum you have to spend, or the minimum you can spend, will be $2.5 million just to buy the CEO office and this. And then you are all ready to go with this business, which is double money and one of the better businesses in GTA Online, one of the most fun and the best ways to make money. Now, the most expensive one is at the airport. That one is a pretty good location too. It's next to one of the biggest roads, the longest roads in the game. I think it's just really basically a straight line to the higher points on the map. So that is also a good location. But really, any of these are good except the ones at the docks. Do not get the ones at the docks because those ones you have to turn a lot. You are on the radar longer if you are in a public session. So I would recommend anyone above the docks. Just do not get the one at the docks. So the airport, La Mesa, any other ones on the east side, those ones are the ones to get. All of them are large, so all of them will store 40 vehicles total. So let's get on to sourcing the cars. There are 3 tiers of cars you can source and sell: standard, mid-tier, and high-end. Now obviously you're going to want to get the high-end vehicles and sell all the high-end vehicles. So before you start sourcing all the high-end vehicles, there is a method you can do to only source high-end vehicles. So what you're going to want to do is source all 22 of the mid-range and standard range vehicles. So as you see here, I have 22 standard and mid-range vehicles. I have 1 of each. So what you're going to want to do, it's really simple. You can't do this only a few hours on the first day to make it worth you playing for the whole week of the double money event week. So instead of $100,000 for top tier vehicles, you are going to be getting $200,000 each time you source and sell a new vehicle. The way to do this is only source mid-range and top range vehicles and collect all 11 of each. So there's 11 standard range and 11 mid-range vehicles you have to collect. And you see they're all unique vehicles. So if, let's say, you have 2 Feltzers, you only go want 1 Feltzer with 1 license plate. So this one says Feltzer and the license plate is Racer. So you're going to want that one. Any other Feltzer you get, sell it and only keep this one. So once you have all 22 of each vehicles, you can now source only high-end vehicles. And that's a little method, a little secret method of sourcing high-end vehicles. And the reason why is because standard range, the highest you can get is $37,500. That is the highest you could get for selling standard range vehicles. And let's look at mid-range. Highest you get for mid-range is only $62,500. High-end vehicles though, you can sell for $100,000. So let's go sell a high-range vehicle. So let's go spawn back in our CEO office. Let's just set the waypoint. Load into new invite only session. Now we are loading back into the CEO office. This is a great way of fast travel, especially if you're on current gen. English Dave, go away. Now we're going to log back onto the PC. Go to vehicle cargo. Go to source vehicle. And we got a FMJ top range vehicle. Only now can source top range vehicles $100,000, or this week $200,000 total for each top range vehicle you sell. So now that you could source top range vehicles only, let's get into the sourcing missions. We'll just run past this because these are pretty basic missions. So you have 16 in total. And all of these are pretty much the same. You go to some locations, you either have to take out the driver or you can just walk into the vehicle. It's really that easy in some of these missions. Some of them will be harder than others. Some you have to snipe them. If you get a sniping mission, I would say just leave a session and try again because those can be pretty tricky. But if you are on foot, it can be pretty tricky, but it's all still pretty easy in the long run. It's still basically just going, stealing the vehicle, and coming back to the warehouse. Now, what is the best method to source these vehicles? So again, you can go on foot if you want to, or you can take a cargo bob. Now, the cargo bob is the easiest method by far, especially in an invite-only session. A cargo bob, you just go up to the vehicle. If you're lucky, it is just parked, and you can just hook onto it. Now, in some missions, you will have to go grab a key or go grab the car from someone, then just park the car, get back in your cargo bob, and fly. And if you are in a solo session doing this, you will have NPCs coming after you. So that is why the cargo bob is a go-to method for solo sessions. You want to get high in the air so the NPCs can't damage your vehicle. And you can damage it pretty good, so it does take away a lot of money. So I would use a cargo bob method in solo sessions. But if you are in a public session, you won't have NPCs coming after you. So in that case, I would actually just drive the vehicle manually, even if it might be a little bit slower if you are coming from the top of the map. You won't have NPCs coming after you shooting you. So, and if you are a cargo bob, that you just have a higher chance of someone seeing you are doing these missions and coming after you and taking out your helicopter and ruining your mission, and you don't want that. So if you are in a public session, which is actually a real thing now because you do get bonuses now, so you have 20% bonus in a full session, which actually adds up. I would do it in a public session and just drive it around normally because that money does add up. The bonuses for doing it in a public session does add up. But those are two methods to use it: cargo bob in an invite only session, or just regular in a public session for the bonus. Now, honestly, I wouldn't worry about damaging it. Even if you are in an invite only session with the NPCs, I wouldn't worry about it too much because at the most it's either going to be 3,000, 4,000 in damages, and that's really not a lot, especially with double money. That's really not a lot, and you don't want to worry about it driving too slow. Just do it really as fast as possible without crashing, obviously, and that will be the best, fastest method to do this. So don't worry about the NPCs shooting up your car, because in the long run, if you are doing it faster because you have the 20-minute cooldown of selling vehicles, you will be making more money in the long run if you just do it normally, like driving your own vehicle around the map. Now, at this point, if you are in a cargo bob, you can just drop it inside of your cargo bob. Just watch out for any poles or anything you might crash into. All you have to do is just drive in and you have collected it. For me, it was really simple. I just had to fly the cargo bob all the way straight here, not even face any helicopters. So that is probably one of the easiest missions you can get. Then your assistant will call you, but now you are ready to sell. And I am recording this a day early, so let's wait until tomorrow to sell this when it is double money. As you see, top range vehicle, FMJ. So now we learned everything about sourcing the vehicles, how to get only top range vehicles. Now that you sourced the top range vehicles, you want to sell them. So always sell the vehicle 100% all the time. Sell the vehicle to the specialist dealer that is the $100,000 range, or this week 200 with double money event week going on. And it does cost you 20k to get the specialist dealer and upgrade it and everything, but you will be getting a $80,000 profit or a $180,000 profit with double money. This is an obvious go-to. Don't waste your time with the other ones. Just always sell to the top end dealer for these vehicles. So because it is double money this week, the total you can get is $200,000. The high modifications required will cost you a double $40,000, but you in total you still get $160,000, which is a lot compared to just $80,000. That is double the amount. So you're still getting a true double money on this vehicle cargo mission. Let's do this. Let's just customize it. There we go, guys. I think all pink is the way to go. Let's change our wheel. A little tip is to use off-road wheels because that gives you the tiny bit of extra traction, just in case. You never know how much that might help you. But if you check it out, we are in a full public session, so we are going to get that 25% high demand bonus. So if you are selling in an invite only session, solo session by yourself, you will have NPCs coming after you. So there is a method to kill them all, and there's only a few waves of them that come. So the method is when you sell them, when you get out of the garage, drive about half a mile to a mile until you see the red dot. And once you see the red dot, pull off to the side and take the easy way out so they don't shoot up your vehicle when you're walking out of the vehicle. Now these enemies will spawn in sets of 2, a total of 4 times. So 2 cars will come after you 4 times in a row. Sometimes you will have to run up the street for the next set to spawn. So just do this 4 times, take them all out, and then you will be set to go. And you can drive as slow as you want. You won't have any more NPCs coming after you. Or take the cargo bob up a few miles in the air and drive straight there, then go down with the cargo bob and sell it. That's probably the best method you want to do so you're not wasting time killing the NPCs. But just know when flying the cargo bob, you have to go pretty high for them to not be able to damage your vehicle. So go pretty high in the air with the cargo bob and don't fly too low to the ground to where you see the NPCs spawn and they are able to shoot up at your vehicle hanging off the cargo bob. So selling to the specialist dealer, you will get $100,000 total. Normal this week, $200,000 with double money and a $20,000 fee. So you get a total of $80,000 max profit with the OG prices. Like that only took me about 2.5 minutes while just driving in a full public session. I did use Ghost Organization just to get this video done, but you guys get the point. It's really fast to do this, really easy. Even in a full public session, we've got 300,000? 300,000? Oh, I think that's just because it's the first time doing it in a while, but normally you should just get 200,000, but for some reason I got 300,000. I would take it 100% though. But yeah, it's because I completed some of those challenges. So you do have those challenges if you want to complete this. This is the week to do those tier challenges on current gen consoles. But 300,000, well, really 200,000 would be normally this week, and normally OG money on any other week 100,000. So total profit of either 80,000, 160,000, or 260,000 in my case right now. So there we go. We have sold the high-end vehicle for a total of $160,000 with double money. That is amazing. So now that we have sold that, we have a 20-minute cooldown timer until we can sell the next vehicle. So what you're going to want to do now, go and source another high-end vehicle. And if you did the method I showed you guys earlier, you will only source a high-end vehicle. But if not, it's still okay because you just keep sourcing until you do get that high-end vehicle. And then after that, you're ready to sell that, but you still have a few minutes left. So go do a CEO mission in the background. Go do a terabyte mission. Or go do a Cayo Perico heist setup. Anything you want to make extra money on the side, because this will be your main focus. The import-export missions will be your main focus. So do something on the side because that money does add up. It adds up a lot. You sell 4 vehicles in an hour. That is the maximum you could sell. And that money in the background does add up. You could get $20,000 from a Headhunter CEO mission. That adds up to about $100,000 4 times. So if you're doing these back-to-back, sell, Headhunter, and sometimes you can even fit another CEO mission in the background after Headhunter. That adds up fast with this money-making method, and you could even get up to $800 to $1 million per hour just by doing these 2 things back-to-back. So add something in the background of it, whatever you want. It could be anything you want. It does add up. So I would recommend you doing a CEO mission or client jobs. One of those 2 are the best ones to do. And then when you're done with that, you could sell another vehicle. or another $200,000 or $100,000 in the OG payouts. Now, if you are doing this with friends, you can sell up to 4 vehicles at once, but you will have a longer wait time to sell more vehicles. So it evens out at the end. It will be the same amount of time in the end if you're selling 4 at once or 1 solo. So take off the info I showed you in this video and multiply it by 4, but with the same time frame. Because at the end, you're not getting too much more money if you do 4 vehicles at once with a crew compared to doing it yourself solo, 4 vehicles in an hour. Because either way, at the end, it will be the same amount of payout you're getting. Now, some tips: I will always recommend you using a Oppressor Mark II or a buzzard with these if it works good. Those are the fastest way of just getting to the vehicle. But a Oppressor Mark II or another fast bike is the go-to, so you can get off and take out the guy inside the vehicle if you need to do that. Or if you're using a Cargo Bob, same way as a Oppressor Mark II, but a little slower. But a Cargo Bob is very good if you are doing it in a solo session with the NPCs. A Cargo Bob, you're going to want to have that as your go-to vehicle doing these missions. But this week is an amazing way to make money with import-export. They rarely do this, especially double money. It's only been 1.5 times money recently. They haven't done double money on import-export in a few years, so this is a must-do this week. And then after this week, take a break from grinding because you deserve it. You probably have tons of money saved up from doing this method. And if it ever comes back, come back to the video, save it on your business playlists, because this is an amazing, underrated, one of the most underrated businesses in GTA Online, and underrated way to make money in GTA Online. But this is your guide of import-export in 2023, double money. Big event week for the hype of the GTA 6 trailer coming next month, not next week. And what if the December DLC is something to do with the Import Export Part 2 DLC? We will see. Stay subscribed for that.